guys, Forsaken actually did more than we expected, including a completely forgotten comic finally being shown, a secret Delatrune skin nobody knew about, and even more. Let's get into it! There is actually something in Forsaken that many players completely forgot about. Over a year ago, Hytoko announced that players would be able to ask the survivors questions about pretty much anything. The idea was that these questions would eventually be answered through a comic series, allowing fans to learn more about the characters and their lives. After that announcement, however, nothing ever seemed to happen, and many people assumed the project had either been scrapped or quietly forgotten. Surprisingly, Endoran has now revealed the very first sneak peek of the comic, finally showing that the idea is still being worked on. The first question focuses on who the survivors miss the most. Noob begins by talking about the friends he left behind. He explains how supportive and caring they were whenever he needed help and admits that he wishes he had spent more time with them while he still had the chance. Looking back, there are many things he feels he would have done differently if he had known he would never see them again. Elliot then shares his own thoughts, explaining that he often wonders how his coworkers are doing back home. More importantly, he misses his family, especially his father and his sister, Mia Builder. One of the renders that is on the Forsaken page shows that so much time has passed that Mia barely remembers what Elliot looks like anymore, making the situation even more heartbreaking. Guest joins the conversation and says he understands exactly how Elliot feels. He constantly worries about his family and wonders how they are coping without him. Throughout his life, he always tried to protect them, and now he fears the struggles they may be facing while he is forsaken. It is a rare emotional moment that shows both Guest and Elliot still remember the people they care about. As the conversation continues, Shedletsky begins questioning how long they have actually been trapped in Forsaken. That small detail has caught the attention of many players, as it raises even more questions about the timeline and what the survivors have been experiencing all this time. Fans are already excited to see future answers, especially from characters like Taff, and many are hoping this eventually leads to a full official lore comic. What survivor question would you want answered next? Out of nowhere, we randomly got a skin that was supposed to come to the game, but it hasn't been worked on since July last year. It is actually a skin based on the Roaring Knight from Delatrune. Cacklebox eventually showed off a render of the design, giving everyone a look at what could have been another crossover skin in Forsaken. However, despite the attention it received, the skin was ultimately scrapped before any real progress was made on it. The skin was originally intended for 1X, mainly because the Roaring Knight's appearance shares some similarities with the killer. If it had been added, it would have become another huge Delatrune-inspired skin connected to Forsaken. This immediately reminded players of another fan-favorite skin that never officially released, which was the Tenna Cool Kid. Back in November, Tenna was one of the most anticipated skins in the game. It reportedly featured custom animations, along with its own intro and outro, and players even managed to find testers using it in-game. Despite all of that work, it never became publicly available. It is now believed to remain a dev-exclusive skin. Because of what happened with Tenna, many fans were disappointed to hear that Roaring Knight had also been scrapped. Some players argued that the design didn't really resemble 1X enough and felt it was too close to being a direct copy of the original character rather than a Forsaken-inspired adaptation. Others believed that was exactly why the skin needed more development rather than being abandoned entirely. This sparked a much larger discussion about reference skins as a whole. Many players feel that skins work best when they combine the original Forsaken character with inspiration from another franchise rather than simply recreating that character outright. There's already a concept someone made called Knight of Fallen Skies with what it is referencing from Roblox. The situation became frustrating for Cacklebox, who simply wanted to share their render they did for the skin. While they agreed that the design could have been improved, Cacklebox was annoyed by how the backlash went far beyond simple criticism. At the end of the day, it was only a render of the skin, yet it sparked one of the biggest discussions surrounding scrap skins in recent months. Do you think Roaring Knight deserves a second chance? Something hidden in Forsaken was recently discovered that almost nobody noticed at all, which is a secret badge that has apparently been sitting inside the game since January 5th, 2025. The badge has a description saying "Discover the truth." The weird thing is that nobody actually knows what it's supposed to unlock or what it even means, because there have never been any updates or explanations surrounding it. This immediately caused a bunch of theories to start appearing throughout the community. A lot of players believe Forsaken has been trying to slowly move more of its lore directly into the game itself, instead of only keeping it on Discord. Right now, there are already a lot of pieces of lore hidden in the lobby, especially involving characters like Sixer, Noob, Jane, and John Doe. But with a bunch of other additional lore on Discord with lore about the altar, even with Chrysaken back in December. That's why many players think this badge could have originally been connected to some kind of hidden in-game storyline or quest system. One of the biggest theories surrounding the badge actually connects it to the scrapped Growlusium skin. On the map Yellow One's Wrath, there is a mysterious green lock that players still haven't been able to access despite it existing for nearly an entire year. Since Growlusium itself was heavily themed around the color green, many players started connecting the two together. The theory is that we originally would have unlocked Growlusium through this lock and earned the Discover the Truth badge in the process. Some think it could instead be tied to future lore quests involving upcoming survivors or hidden storylines explaining how certain characters got Forsaken, like how the Jane Doe release made everyone collect folders to then unlock some lore in the files, and something similar could work with this badge as well. Nobody knows what this about so far, so the only thing we can speculate what it was for, and since this badge remained hidden for so long, it's even more mysterious now. There are still several extremely expensive skins in Forsaken that we haven't seen updated or expanded upon since last year, and a lot of players have started wondering if the developers completely forgot about them. Right now, there are only 3 official golden skins in the game, which belong to Chance, Shedletsky, and Dussaker. Other than those 3, no additional golden skins have ever been added, despite them originally being treated as some of the rarest and most expensive skins in Forsaken. Back then, owning a golden skin was considered a massive flex because it showed you were a complete bang-out who spent a huge amount of time or money on the game. There has been almost no news regarding new ones being added. Now though, a brand new Golden to Time skin concept made by Amber the Silly has suddenly started getting a huge amount of attention from the community. A lot of players are saying this is easily one of the best golden skin concepts Forsaken has ever had. The concept completely transforms to Time with an all-golden outfit while still keeping the signature glowing golden effects that the other golden skins in Forsaken already use. What makes this concept stand out even more is the amount of detail put into the second life form and animations. The second life includes massive golden wings along with a glowing golden spawn icon in the center of the chest. There are also multiple custom animation concepts attached to it, including a brand new crouch animation, a custom stab animation, and even a unique crouch stab that plays a cash register sound effect when attacking killers. One of the craziest parts is the ritual animation concept, where Time throws their dagger into the air, catches it, and then plants down their spawn location in an extremely flashy way. This concept already feels almost complete, which is why so many players are hoping the Forsaken developers eventually notice it. A lot of people are even saying they would instantly buy the skin if it ever officially released because of how polished and detailed it already looks. Should Forsaken start adding more golden skins like this? So Forsaken did more than we expected for this upcoming update. What are most excited to see come into the game? Subscribe and hit the bell for more Forsakening it.